one of my favorite childhood stories was this book called Where the Wild Things Are. I love that story because it showed the courage of this young boy. His name was Max. And he left his house and he went out onto this boat and he went to a crazy island where there were big, terrible monsters with terrible teeth and terrible eyes and terrible claws. And he stood in front of them with no fear and said, "Ain't nobody got time for that." Plain and simple. And as he said this, I read this and I start building up some courage in myself. I'm like, dang, isn't this the way that the Lord calls us? Doesn't he tell us to go out to the places that terrify us most and stand not in our own confidence but in the confidence of him? Isn't this what the Lord does? He says, go where the wild things are. You can stay in your comfort zone, but I'd rather have you go where the wild things are so you can be a representation for me. So let's sing it like this. I wanna go where the wild things are. I wanna go where the wild things are. I wanna go where the wild things are. I'm talking lions, tigers, bears. Oh my, I'm talking lions, tigers, bears. Oh my, I'm talking lions, tigers, bears. Oh my, why? Christ died for this terrible heart. That's why I wanna be where the wild things are. Anybody ready to go where the wild things are tonight? I'm talking lions, tigers, bears. I'm talking lions, tigers, bears. Put your hands up. Where the wild things are. Say what? I'm talking lions, tigers, bears. Talking lions, tigers, bears. Talking lions, tigers, bears. Christ died for this terrible heart. That's why I wanna be where the wild things are. Yeah. Welcome to the church in the wild. I live with dudes that have been in church in the wild. Chosen this lifestyle. You ever met my friends? Porn stars, dope dealers. They like, why you chill with them? I thought you was a Christian. Yeah, I'm on that team. I'm with them cause my life's the only Bible that they've ever seen. Don't wanna be a shot from the church bell. I wanna win souls and gunshots at the worst hell. Telling them Christ became a curse for their sin. With my words and my works, they won't come in. I'm bringing church to them. Yeah, that's why I live where I live. They say you're not in credit, ain't no place to raise your kids. If we ain't living it, who else gonna show what a family's supposed to look like? Instead of them broken homes, gotta be living stones around where they keep the stones. Let them know we gotta make it known till we take us home. Let's go. I wanna go where the wild things are. I wanna go where the wild things are. I wanna go where the wild things are. I'm talking lions, tigers, bears. Oh my, lions, tigers, bears. Oh my, talking lions, tigers, bears. Oh my, you scared? Christ died for this terrible heart. That's why I wanna be where the wild things are. In New York City where I live, can I get a little bit more of my vocal, maybe just turn it down a little bit. In New York City where I live, I planted a church up there with my boy Rich Perez. We planted in this neighborhood called Washington Heights. Uptown, baby. Also known as Uptown. So if you want to be down in New York City and know where I live, say Uptown, baby. Uptown, baby. What you know about me? Okay, so we moved uptown to Washington Heights. Now, mind you, I don't have to live in Washington Heights necessarily. Some of my friends actually look at me crazy when they come with me on my block and they see where I live. We're walking and they're like, pretty bad. It's a bad situation, right? People are like, what are you doing living here? I get out the car, say what's up to my friends. They're dealing drugs on the corner. Say what's up to my prostitute friends. Hey, how y'all doing? You good? God loves y'all, man. And people are like, what? How do you know them? I'm like, they're my friends. What are you talking about? They're like, why are you living here? This is dangerous. I'm like, yeah, I know. So I'm here. Blowing their minds sometimes. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm saying, man, God has called us to go where the wild things are. To go to the places where people don't want to be. Because look how far Jesus came to save us. He left heaven and came to our situation to grab us out. So, when we moved to Washington Heights, one of the biggest barriers was the language barrier. So it's mostly Latino, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cubano. Any Latinos in the building? All right, all four of y'all. Great. Let's go. 3.5. In my time there, I've had to learn some Spanish. And so what I love to learn is how to communicate things about God. And so if anybody's ever seen, we got 116 on the back of our shirts, and that stands for Romans 1:16. Romans 1:16 means I'm unashamed of the gospel, for it's the power of God for those who believe and are called according to his purposes. We like to call it 116. Let me hear you say 116. Everybody say 116. You get what I'm saying? I've tried to learn how to communicate 116 to my Spanish-speaking friends, and it sounds a little something like this. Y'all gonna learn some Spanish tonight. Uno, uno, seis. Una, uno, uno, seis. Una, uno, uno, seis. Please don't get up in my way. Una, uno, uno, seis. Una, uno, uno, seis. Una, uno, uno, seis. Please don't get up in my way. Let's go. Y'all ready? Uno, uno, seis. Una, uno, uno, seis.